What's up guys, how's it going? Today is gonna be a long yap sesh. I'm not sure how long this video will be, but I wanna sit down here, raw, unedited, and just talk about, the mindset switch that I would like to say allowed me to make, my first 6 figures online, and kind of the same mindset that's gonna make me 7 figures and 8 figures one day. So, one thing you guys have to realize, going into this whole space, whether you are a trader, whether you are starting your own business, whatever you're doing on your own, the most important part is going to be your mindset. Now, that sounds cliche, right? But I promise you, it is the most important part, and I would not have made any progress if I didn't keep the mindset, right? When I was starting my journey, right? About a year and a half ago, a bit more than that, when I was starting my journey, first mindset I had is, hey, this is going to be the hardest thing that I'm gonna do in my life, right? I realized that this is gonna suck, right? This is going to suck. That's the first thing that I realized. The second thing that I told myself is, I genuinely believe in myself. I know that I can do this, right? I know that I can succeed. Right? And that sounds cliche. And the reason why I told myself that is because when I got in my journey, right, I started putting 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. And I realized that, hey, I'm putting in so much money. I mean, not money. Well, I was putting in a lot of money, but I'm putting in so much time. I know that I'm going to be rewarded for the amount of time that I'm putting in, right? All that time doesn't go unnoticed. And what you guys will start to realize is, the universe, whatever you want to believe, you will get an output, for the input you're putting in, right? And it's going to be exponential. You might go a year with putting in so much effort, and you think, you're just not getting anywhere. You think it's not going to work out, and then boom, you're going to catch a break, and all that work you are putting in is going to scale exponentially, right? It is going to scale exponentially. You'll make some money, and then boom, scales up, you just made a lot more, right? Obviously, like I said, it's not gonna be linear. There's gonna be ups and downs. But when I was in my lowest point, guys, when I got to the point where I was putting in 12 hours a day, I want you guys to realize this because, again, I'm not here to like toot my own horn, but I want you guys to realize what my schedule looked like, right? There would be 2 types of days while I was in my grind phase. First of all, I didn't leave my house for 6 months, right? I genuinely did not leave my house for 6 months senior year, from about August to January or February, right? I did not leave my house. My day would look like this. Boom, I would wake up at 6 a.m. some days. I would be on the charts, trading at school until 3 p.m. I would go home, go to the gym. I would be on the charts again until about 10 p.m. I would try to do my homework so I don't fail. And then I would go to bed around 1 in the morning, or no, my bad. I would go to bed around 11 or 12, and I would wake up at 2 a.m. to trade London, and I would, be up until 4 a.m. and then go to bed again, wake up at 6 a.m. for school. I was running on 2 hours of sleep for multiple months, guys. I was putting in so much effort, and yet I was losing money. And I literally, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I would sit in my bed and I would just look up after I got all this work done. All I was doing was working. All I was doing was putting in effort, and I would just sit there in my bed, look at my bank account, see, $500 in there. And I'm like, dude, when am I going to catch a break, right? But that whole time I had the mindset of I know I'm gonna succeed. I know I can't fail. And why did I tell myself? Because I couldn't afford to fail. Guys, I couldn't afford to go back after putting in that much effort. I know you guys relate to this because you probably put hundreds, thousands of hours into it. You can't afford to fail. I'm telling you right now, if you give up, you should be genuinely ashamed of yourself. Genuinely fucking ashamed of yourself, because you just wasted a year of your life because you were, too mentally weak to keep going. And don't hit some excuse of hey, I lost too much money, or hey, it's too hard, I can't do it. Yes, you can, bro. Yes, you can. Because I would always question myself. I'm like, dude, I genuinely don't know if this is gonna work out. Even sometimes now, I'm like, dude, I want to get to that next stage. I want to get to that next point, but I don't know if I can. I don't know how to scale, but I still have that mentality. It's like, I genuinely believe in myself. I've seen the results. I've seen it firsthand. And I've seen, I've talked to so many other people, and each one of them has that mindset. Each one of them has that mindset of, I will make it. I will make it. There's no other option. You guys will see these street interviewers of, these millionaires, whatever. Like, there's this one channel on YouTube I really like. I forgot what it's called, but he'll interview, these people on the street. It's like self-made millionaires, whatever, from their business. And all of them say the same thing. 4 years, they were putting in effort, losing money. They genuinely didn't believe it could, get better, but they believed in themselves and got out of that hole. That's how it's going to be. So first thing, again, you have to realize is you are going to be, if you haven't started already, you're engaging on what will be the hardest journey of your life, right? This won't be easy. 5-10 years of your life, you will be putting in so much effort, so much effort. And, depending on what you're doing, you might not see results for a minute, right? You might not see results for a while. But if you're passionate about what you're doing, if you genuinely believe in yourself, you believe in what you are executing on, you will succeed. You will, I promise you, right? I've talked to so many people that are so much ahead of me, like light years ahead of me, right? One of my mentors, I want to say like one of my trading mentors, because he didn't really teach me any strategy stuff, but he helped my psychology. Guy has made close to $10 million at 18. And I always ask him, I'm like, bro, like, I want to get to your point. It's like, I feel like I'm so far away. And what he always tells me is like, bro, I've been at this for 7 years. And the first 2, I lost money. But again, I believed in myself. And another thing is, I had patience. A lot of you guys don't have patience. And the reason why is you'll compare yourself, right? When you're watching this video, the last thing I want you guys to do is compare yourself to me and say, hey, this guy's ahead of me, right? Because I do the same. I'll watch another video. It's like, hey, this guy made $2 million by 18. I'm like, bro, how is he that much ahead of me, right? But you can't compare yourself. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own story. You can't compare yourself to others. You can't. I know it's hard. It's really hard, and you want to, right? It's good to be competitive, but you can't do it. Everyone is on their own journey. And the most notable advice that he gave me is, bro, you have to take a step back. Take a step back, look at it yourself from a third person, see how much effort you're putting in. Realize how much effort you're putting in and say, it doesn't have to happen now, right? It doesn't have to happen now. It can happen in 2 years, 3 years. You guys have to realize that. You have to realize that once you step away, say, there really is no rush, because think about what you're doing. You're trying to build a life for yourself, I'm guessing, and your family, right? You have so much time, right? If you're starting early, you guys have a lot of time. So maybe you're not gonna make $1 million this year. Maybe you're not gonna make 100K this year. Maybe you're not gonna make 10K this year, or maybe even next year. But if you're putting one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, constantly pushing through, cliche again, 1% better at a time, but it's true. If you're genuinely taking that next step forward every single day, whether you feel sick, whether you feel drained, whether you feel that it's not going to work out, I promise you, there is no world, there is no chance, I will bet everything on it, that you will not succeed. If you are genuinely doing that, and I mean genuinely putting in everything in whatever you're doing, you will see success. I promise you, right? And I really want to get this through your head, because you will start to doubt yourself, in those, bad situations, those, low points, you will start to doubt yourself. And it won't help, because the people around you are most likely going to doubt you too. They've probably doubted you the whole time, and they'll go and say like, bro, it's time to give up, right? Bro, it might not be for you, right? Your parents, right? That's a big influence. Parents telling you that, right? Your best friends telling you that. But you have to focus on yourself. Again, if you genuinely believe in what you guys are doing, if you guys genuinely understand that what you're doing is for the long term, right? You are passionate about this. You enjoy doing this every single day, right? You might enjoy the result, but you guys need to enjoy the journey too. Because, all right, that was really cliche, but think about it. If you just instantly got whatever you wanted, if you guys were, one of those kids that were born in a billionaire's family, and you can just snap your fingers, boom, there you go, bam, here's a Rolex, boom, here's a Lamborghini, boom, here's this materialistic thing, boom, vacation, blah, 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 and you don't put an ounce of effort into it, do you genuinely think you're gonna feel fulfilled? Do you genuinely think it's, easy? It's like, oh, they must have it so easy. I promise you, I would never want to be in that position, and you don't want to be in that position because you will never feel fulfilled. The reason why this stuff feels good, the reason why living on my own, moving into my own apartment, pushing every single day feels good for me, it's because that's a result of those 2-hour nights where I would not sleep. I would literally not sleep. I got sick 4 times. I got sick 4 times in a couple months, and it was terrible. Every single day, it's like, dude, how am I alive? I took a toll on my body. I was drinking caffeine so much. It's 4 energy drinks a day. I don't know how I'm alive, but this is a result of that, right? And you have to realize the more effort you put in, you will feel so much better of the result because you know why? You actually deserved it. You didn't get it handed to you on a silver plate. You were putting in that hours every single day with no result. And that's another reason that a lot of people are gonna give up on this journey. And a lot of people will also text me, right? And say, hey bro, I need you to help me. And within 10 seconds, I understand if someone is fit for, building their own reality or not. Because it's a certain type of mindset. People are lazy to put in 2 weeks into a skill or something with no, success. Nothing to prove for it. That was me, right? I remember I tried so many business models that I would just see on TikTok, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, it gives up. Oh, we got lucky, bro. What do you guys not realize? Success, this stuff is the same as any other skill. If I told someone that I was going to become as good as LeBron in basketball in 2 weeks, everyone would laugh at me like I'm an idiot, right? But if I told someone that I'm gonna, build a brand or all this stuff is like saying like, my bad. If I were to tell someone that, hey, I made this for myself, I made this life for myself after 4 years, they're gonna be like, bro, like you just got lucky, right? It's the same thing. Whatever skill you wanna do, whatever you wanna, whether you wanna get jacked, whether you wanna become strong, I don't know, whether you become a good athlete, whatever you do is going to require a lot on your effort. And that's the one thing that I just, for some reason couldn't realize. I thought that making money, learning a skill was so different because I never really had money, and I was like, dude, this is so far away. Like, I just want money so bad. I want to get this so bad. I want to get this life so bad. But I've never had that taste of success. I was never really good at it. But once I realized that, hey, it's the same blueprint. It's the same path that you have to follow, putting in effort every single day to get to that next point, Another big thing I want to talk about, setting goals. Now, my bad guys, my head's kind of killing me, but when it comes to setting goals, I think that's one of the, most important things as well on your journey. And the reason why is people will set some crazy goal in the beginning, right? It's like, hey, I want to make 100K this year, or, I want to make $1 million this year, this stuff like that. Don't give your guys that goal, right? Sure, it's like a good motivational thing, but don't give yourself a goal like that. Give yourself a short-term goal. Say, hey, I want to get to this next step, whatever you're doing. If you're trading, it's like, hey, I want to pass my first funded account. Boom, you just pass your first funded account. Now what do you want to do? Hey, I want to get a payout. Boom, you just got a payout. It's like, hey, I want to get 10K in payouts. Boom, you guys are taking small steps. That's going to be the easiest way, because if you set some crazy goal in the beginning that you're not close to at all, and you haven't, seen the smaller goals, you can't jump from, 0 to hero, right? You can't make that jump. And if you just try to get mad at yourself that you're not at that crazy goal, you're gonna say like, hey, have I even taken the steps to reach the smaller goals, right? Obviously setting long-term goals is hard. I mean, long-term goals is important because you understand like what you're working towards, but setting those small-term goals, achieving that small-term goal, getting a little bit of dopamine that you achieve that goal and moving on to the next goal, right? You guys will achieve a lot more in the span of a year than you will from, setting some crazy goal and just, thinking it's going to magically happen, right? Again, I'll say that's pretty much the most important things when it comes to mindset. But man, I would say all of life, all this stuff, it really is going to, again, really going to depend on how much effort you put in. If you genuinely believe in what you're doing, the mindset that you have, right? You know that you won't give up. You can't give up. You would rather die. Genuinely, you would rather, die than give up on your dream, whatever. Like, I know I'm like being the most cliche guy of all time. Like, I know it's like, oh, I've probably heard this stuff before. But why do you think you hear it? Because it's right. Again, I encourage you guys to go out, try to, I won't say network, but talk to people, that are in a position that you would want to be towards, in a position that you want to be in or that you think is so far away. And whenever I talk to people, that have made millions of dollars, it's like, hey, they're in the position I want to be in. The second I talk to them, I realize one thing: they are the exact same person as me. They have the same mindset as me. They do the same thing every day. They have the same goals, right? They just have put in more time and more effort. That's it, right? Even when I was first starting, right? Again, no money, no success, nothing. I would still try to talk to these people and I would still realize, like, dude, they're doing in the same stuff as me. They're putting in all that effort, right? They're doing all this stuff. They are no different than me. And that's the truth. I'm not different from you. Whoever you look up to, they're not different than you. They just took action. They stuck with it for an extended amount of time. And now it looks like they have a perfect life for all this stuff. It's not true. Again, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys genuinely listen to what I say and apply it. And if you're going through a hard time, if you feel like it's not going to get better, I promise you it is. That's why I'm making this video. Is I honestly wish that when I was in that kind of dark point, I had a video like this to say that, hey, it's going to be, it's gonna work out, right? Because man, it was a rough point. It was a really rough point, I'm not gonna lie, guys. But that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys like these kind of talks, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, if you want to see more insights or whatever. That's pretty much it for the video. I will catch you guys another day. God bless.